Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's debate. We are thrilled to have you here for the first and final Paleto Bay Police Chief debate. Tonight's debate will have several topics on how each candidate will perform their duties as police chief. The participants for tonight's debate are Malcom Fox, James Messer, and Garrett Wilson. The format for tonight's debate will be as follows. Each speaker will have 2 minutes for their opening statements. They will have 2 minutes to speak for each question asked. Rebuttals will be 1 minute for their opponents, followed by closing statements at the end. Please note that each speaker must adhere to their allotted time. I will signal when your time is up. We ask that all participants respect each other's speaking time and avoid interruption. Audience members are also requested to hold their applause and reactions until the end. We encourage a respectful and constructive debate. Please focus on the arguments rather than personal attacks, and let's make sure we have a productive discussion. James Messer, if you would like to start with your opening statement, please.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, and residents of Paleto Bay, I stand before you today in a profound sense of duty and determination as we gather to debate the future leadership of our community's police force. We are faced with a pivotal choice, one that will shape the safety and prosperity and spirit of Paleto Bay for years to come. It is uncertain times the role of police chief carries immense responsibilities, and I'm ready to take those actions.
Sonny Fan, please go with your opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here before you to present myself for a candidate of the Paleto Police Chief. I believe I have what it takes, as I have the experience in the Paleto department, and we can also make Paleto great again.
Garrett, with your opening statement.
Hello, fellow voters, candidates, men in blue. I come before you all today because Paleto Bay is in a tragic issue. We have no active police force, and we have drugs running up and down the streets of our great city constantly all day long. My fellow candidates here have clearly written down their statements tonight, but as the cop usually is, I'm going off the top of my head. Paleto Bay will be one of the biggest, fast-growing cities under my leadership. I have put in money and donations for a new police station, new equipment, and better morale with our officers. My main focus will be commitment, engagement, and community relations with the people that we serve with and for. Thank you.
Can I clap?
Okay. Sonny Fan, if elected, you will be responsible for managing your department's resources effectively. How do you plan to allocate resources, and how will you approach prioritizing community needs and concerns?
Doofy, the debate's
I'm going to prioritize those by making sure our department has...
Watch from the outside.
I'm going to prioritize those by making sure our department has active members. We have enough weapons and gear for our officers, and we also have enough vehicles and patrols out there each and every day.
Garrett, how do you go with the question?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. If elected, you will be responsible for managing your department's resources effectively. How do you plan to allocate resources, and how will you approach prioritizing community needs and concerns?
Thank you. So our main focus will be community relations. If we have a strong community that we serve, there is no need to have a armored SUV and tear gas raining on the streets of Paleto Bay. With a community that trusts us and works with us, we will have great officers and great responses to the calls that we serve daily. Another big thing will be Narcan. Drugs on the streets of Paleto kill a lot of people daily. And that is a big issue for not only us, but the kids and the future generations that live here. So handing out Narcan on the streets, buying back guns from civilians, and engaging with the community, adding new buildings, painting the streets, painting the buildings, and washing off spray paint will be a big allocation of our money.
James Messer. If elected, you will be responsible for managing the department's resources effectively.
Garrett.
How do you plan to allocate resources, and how will your approach prioritize community needs and concerns?
Yeah, I can't see.
A good point was made by Garrett here. Community engagement. I will implement initiatives that foster positive interactions between police officers and the community. This could include neighborhood watch programs, community police force efforts where officers engage directly with the residents, and regular town hall meetings to discuss concerns and priorities. I will also try to enhance training and professional development, invest in going on trainings for officers to enhance their skills, particularly in the areas where we are lacking.
Okay. Mr. Fox, what are some internal and external problems you believe your department faces that you plan to tackle?
Some of the internal and external problems that our department faces, believe, is we currently have plenty of members, but what we don't have is enough clothing or a good workup of the SOP for them, as our clothing guide for them in our SOP is outdated. If elected, I would be redoing that. We also could use some better weapons, as we have all like weapons from the 1900s kind of. So we could use some weapons that are in a greater date.
Garrett, what are some of the internal and external problems you believe the department faces that you plan to tackle?
Paleto Bay has problems with diversity, commitment, activity,
Did.
new and improved material that they use every day. With me as the chief, I will make sure that we fund for a new building, new cars, like my fellow candidate here said, new EUP, meaning better clothing that fit our officers well and also look clean on the streets. Sorry, I had a lag spike there.
What the fuck is a lag?
We also need to handle diversity. That's a big thing for me. This town is a melting pot of different generations, different beliefs, different backgrounds. Having officers trained up on how to deal with those things will be amazing for in the field, so we're not shooting unarmed black people. Thank you.
What? I agree.
He's direct.
I love it.
I would like to
Direct.
remind the audience to please remain quiet during this debate. Thank you. Messer, what are some of the internal and external problems you believe the department, your department faces that you plan to tackle?
How long is it gonna take you?
I don't think this town is having any racial issues. One thing I do think we are having an issue with is activity. Activity with our police force is very low right now, and I am determined to get that activity up by holding recruitments, by engaging with our community, technology and equipment like this.
We're all good on security.
I would also like to collaborate with local businesses and help promote.
For the record, I just want to point out Messer was cutting out there.
Yes, Messer, if you'd like to repeat your statement, you can.
Am I cutting out?
You can hear you now.
Not at the
All
moment,
right.
sir. You're not.
Perfect. As I said, I don't think racism or race is an issue in Paleto Bay as of now. What I think is our biggest issue is our police force activity. I look to have technology and equipment upgrades, engage with our community more, and get our officers out on the streets. That's our biggest issue as of now.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Fox. Recruitment of officers is a concern for criminal justice agencies. What role do you envision your office playing in a recruitment and promotion of this profession in your region? And what role do you see San Andreas playing in the ongoing efforts to build and support local criminal justice workforces?
Support the local criminal justice workers. Paleto Police is going to be working side by side with SASP and BCSO to help put away criminals that are neglected and able to be put away. Make sure they're proven guilty first. For the other question, administrative part, we are going to be having recruitment events daily, community-wide events like barbecues, beach days, and other such things like that.
Garrett, recruitment of officers is a concern for criminal justice agencies. What role do you envision your office playing in the recruitment and promotion of this profession in your region? And what role do
Recruitment
you
is a
see
big
San
thing.
Andreas? Continue.
Recruitment is a big thing in this town. The issue is no one wants to come up here. No one wants to work here. They're not federally funded easily enough. They have no new equipment and we're very outdated. My thing is host something for all the community, not just the officers, but engage within the community so the community trusts the officers that are hired. My work in LSPD has shown tremendously the efforts that we can do by hosting cookouts. We can host days in the parks. We can host a hunting event with the entire San Andreas. We can have a competition with who can swim the fastest. We can also host Race the Cop. If you win, you might get paid. If you don't, you might get arrested. That's one of my big things.
That sounds like a trap.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, does anyone know where the bathroom is?
Yes, sir. How do you respond to the question?
As most of you guys know, I am the LSPD Field Training Division Commander. I hope that I can bring this knowledge, if I am elected, to Paleto Bay Police Department and help out with recruitment. Recruitment is a big thing. We need our officers. We need good officers to come in, join the police department, help protect the city. I am also, sorry, one second.
I got a pack of peanut butter crackers. Yeah, here you go.
Mother.
My apologies. I had something going on there. I'm also HRIA, and I do deal with recruitment. I hope to bring that knowledge to Paleto Bay.
Thank you. Garrett, how do you plan to ensure your officers are held accountable? And how do you plan to maintain a positive and transparent relationship between your department and the citizens?
Accountability is a major thing. My work as the captain of internal affairs for the LSPD, going on 3 or so months, has shown tremendous effort with our officers' trust with one another. My investigation skills are, I'd say, one of the best in this department. I assist other agencies with how they operate and how they organize their administrative division. My work was so tremendous that I got promoted to the position of commander, and now I focus on HR and IA as a whole. Tying both of them in together with the same sort of, I guess, guidelines per se, has shown a lot of help. Hearing both sides of an officer's story is a big thing. People like to trim down body cam footage just to get the officer fired, but they never really see the big picture there.
The guy in the cowboy hat right now kind of pissing me off.
So my thing
How's everyone doing?
is hearing both stories.
Try
That
not
is a
to
big
speak
thing
over
for
it,
me.
Let me know in chat how you guys are doing.
I feel like that's the other way around.
Thank you, Garrett. Messer,
Does anyone know where the bathroom is?
how do you plan to ensure officers are held accountable? And how do you plan to maintain a positive and transparent relationship between your department and the citizens?
As I said, I want to bring in more technology and equipment upgrades. As of now, our body cams are way out of date. We also do not have patrol shift reports. That is a big thing. We need to implement patrol shift reports, make sure our officers are getting detailed on their patrol shift reports. Make sure their body cameras are uploaded and saved in the cloud, so there's no trimming of body cam.
Mr. AJ, can I talk to you outside, please?
What's up?
Okay.
Yeah,
All
where's
right.
the bathroom?
Garrett, effective communication and collaboration
Sorry
are
about
important in
that,
our
guys.
area. How do you envision fostering relationships with other agencies to ensure effective services throughout the region?
Thank you. As soon as I am elected, I will host a meeting with every major and local agency around the city and state. This will in turn take from what they use and we can flip it to revolutionize our training guides, our SOPs, and the way we operate. Taking in from what other agencies put forward is a great way to start up PBPD again. I will host meetings with BCSO frequently to get some help from their officers and help from our officers once we grow. One second, sorry. Sorry, yes, so LSPD is one of my example departments. They went from nothing to something major. I will be hosting community relations with them and BCSO and state police. I'll be working hand to hand with the major departments and seeing if they can help our efforts of fostering and establishing an amazing department that is fully set up.
Thank you, Garrett. And can I please ask you to stand in your spot? The cameraman is having a hard time following you around. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Messer, effective communication and collaboration are important in our area. How do you envision fostering relationships with other agencies to ensure effective services throughout the region?
Oh, what's happening now?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. Effective communication and collaboration are important in our area. How do you envision fostering relationships with other agencies to ensure effective services throughout the region?
Why is there a naked dude?
We already have a great relation with BCSO and state police. I would like to see more relations within LSPD. LSPD would probably be more than willing to help local agencies out with their divisions and their departments as a whole. I'm looking forward to this election. If I get elected,
Mayor,
I
come
will
help me, please.
definitely help with LSPD and LA getting closer together.
Mr. Davis.
Excuse me, sorry. Gotta use
Thank you.
I have to ask you to step out into the bathroom and put some clothes on, please.
Someone stole them.
Somebody stole your clothes?
All right, Garrett.
Okay.
Mr. Fox, thank you for returning. I will go ahead and ask you the same question if you're ready, Mr. Fox.
Can you repeat it?
Yes. Effective communication and collaboration are important in our area. How do you envision fostering relationships with other agencies to ensure effective services throughout the region?
I'm gonna make sure to have at least meetings, if we can, once or twice a month, with leaders of all the other departments that patrol in Paleto jurisdiction. So Parks, SAFR, BCSO, SASP. So that way we can all form a relationship and hopefully make Paleto a better place and get to our citizens faster with response times.
Stop sniffing you.
All right, thank you. Garrett,
Ew.
if elected, will you support the creation of a union within a department or any framework that would allow an increase in benefits for the officers who would work under you?
I would. Unionization is an amazing thing. It supports our officers more than you think and creates a better work standard for them. Health benefits are on the rise and is very necessary. I'll be working with our EMS and fire department very closely on establishing a connection with them and the slight chance that an officer is injured during their tour of duty. I'll also be working with local medic agencies and hospitals around Paleto Bay to ensure that our officers have full coverage over their medical bills.
I don't even want to the funding for that.
All right, Messer, if elected, would you support the creation of a union within a department or any framework that would allow an increase in benefits for the officers who would work under you?
Of course, unions are very beneficial. It allows us to collaborate and explore different pathways that we never thought of. Information that could help bring up a department, information that could help make a department better if they're doing something wrong. If we're doing something wrong, there's always something that you can fix within each other.
Okay, thank you. Once again, I do ask the audience to please remain quiet while we are doing this debate. Mr. Fox, if elected, would you support the creation of a union within a department or any framework that would allow an increase in benefits for the officers who you would work under you?
Absolutely, as my two fellow candidates said, that will definitely be happening. It allows all departments and members to work better and hopefully learn things from each other each and every day.
No.
Okay.
Get away from me. I mean, 20. I don't know.
Garrett, this question is solely directed to you. There has been video evidence of you attempting to sell weed to the citizens of this state.
I paid.
Why should the voters of Paleto Bay trust you, since you would be the head of law enforcement of this jurisdiction? And is this video evidence false?
I wonder if Garrett's still gonna pay me.
The video evidence is not false, but it is twisted. Can you please repeat what was in the evidence of the video?
Can the woman next to me shut
The only
fuck
evidence
up?
we got is that you were attempting to sell weed to citizens of the state.
Thank you. I never attempted to sell weed to the citizens of Paleto Bay. What I did attempt to do is purchase weed. As weed is free to own
Garrett told me
and
we need
distribute
to
in the
go.
state of San Andreas. I myself am an advocate for people that smoke weed. It relaxes your body, which in turn lowers the crime rate in the town.
Yes, sir.
Weed is very beneficial to
Hell
not
yeah,
only your body and
this
your
guy's a
mind.
fucking libertarian.
Hell yeah.
Audience, please be quiet
Quiet.
so we can get these questions answered in this debate in a timely manner. Thank you.
I stand with the green. Thank you.
We stand next to the green.
Newellr, before we move on, hey, if you're gonna continue making noise, you can be escorted out of here.
Maybe somebody should be wheeled out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Be silent.
Messer,
so.
this question is directed towards you. You have been accused of corruption and using powers for your personal gain to win this election that other candidates simply do not have the power to do. Why should the voters of Paleto Bay trust you with these accusations?
Yeah, why?
I will admit I did use an ability that I have that not a lot of other people have. I was corrected on it. I did not mean to use a power that I do have to benefit myself. As I was talked to about it, I did correct myself.
Thank you. Mr. Fox.
Sylvester, I'm not needing you to step out if you don't mean that.
Cybercrime is on a continuing rise. What is your vision for adapting the department to combat these issues?
My vision for that is going to be getting our CIU unit up and running more than it already has been.
Let me know who
Possibly
you all
adding
think's
a
currently winning the debate.
cybercrime division inside of CIU and updating our computers so that way our detectives are able to track the cybercrime and we can pinpoint those criminals.
Thank you. Garrett, same question.
Good.
Cybercrime is on a continuing rise. What is your vision for adapting the department to combat these issues?
Well, like I said it before, an upgrade in technology will be a big beneficiary. Sorry. Working hand in hand with other coalition
Don't touch my
departments
wheelchair.
that have a lot of funding for their divisions that handle
Sorry.
cybercrime will be very beneficial to Paleto Bay Police Department. Using some of the technology that they already foster and currently work great with cybercrime, we'll be implementing that into Paleto Bay with grants from the state. Grants from the government that will help us purchase these revolutionary devices. Oh, and one more thing. I still have time, right?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Another thing that I would also like to focus on is the neighboring local agency departments. Roxwood is a big one for me. I will assist with them, assisting them with the same technology that we have so they can combat cybercrime and other issues over there across the bridge.
If I had my sniper, just saying.
Don't say that. But if I had my pistol, just saying.
Okay, Messer, same question.
Can you repeat one more time, please?
Yes, cybercrime is on a continuing rise. What is your vision for adapting the department to combat these issues?
As everybody knows, or as most people know, I do have great relations with LSPD. I work close with CIB Commander Lane and both CIB captains for LSPD. I hope to, or all three now, since we have our digital forensic division. I hope to work towards getting our relations better with them and have LSPD and LA agencies work together with both cybersecurity and cybercrime.
Thank you.
And then I go up here.
Mr. Fox, if elected, what will you do to ensure that you have a greater presence and impact within the community that you serve?
If elected, as I said before, we're gonna be hosting daily events with the community, so barbecues, hiring events. We're gonna be having possible airsoft events in the county. After I talk that up with Parks, if elected. Also, we're gonna be doing public ride-alongs with people of Paleto and showing them what it's like to be a Paleto PD officer.
You say polio?
Thank you.
Taquito,
Garrett, same question. If elected, what will you do to ensure that you have a greater presence and impact within the community that you serve?
HOA is a big one. HOA assists neighborhoods and the homeowners with crimes that police do not have to get involved with. So they will be invited up to Paleto to assist with those. Another thing is, with our neighboring counties, they will be assisting us with patrols and operations to show a big police presence. Another thing is the community that we serve in. I believe I have strong grounds with the community that I currently serve in LSPD. They trust me, they come to me with problems, and they never have situations arise when I'm on patrol. That'll be a big thing for me. There is no need for a police force if the community that they serve for can police themselves. So, with that, I do and will draft a policy up and some ideas with local security companies and local people that would like to assist with building up their community and not bringing it down. Thank you.
So I would like a follow-up question on that, Garrett. Is your plan to deputize certain citizens and members of an HOA?
Negative. I wouldn't deputize them, but I would allow them to come up here and enforce their great policies in the state of Paleto. Sorry, city of Paleto.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna need you to step
Messer,
away.
same question. If elected, what will you do to ensure that you have a greater presence and impact within the community that you serve?
As I said, our activity within Paleto Bay Police is not good right now, but our activity within all LEO departments, we do have SASP and Blank County patrolling down here, and I hope that continues, and I don't plan to stop that. I will work towards getting our officers back on the streets, holding recruitment events, and holding our officers accountable for the activity.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay. Mr. Fox, organized crime rates are continuing to drop since 2022, but drug activity and drug-related crimes continue to remain at an all-time high. What plans have you addressed to the community's concerns on this topic?
Plans I have addressed that is, like I said before with our CIU, we're going to be making sure our CIU units are on and as active as possible to make sure we don't go having overdoses or anything like that, as that does put a bad imprint on Paleto. To make sure of that, we're also going to make sure people only go taking legalized drugs. If you are seen taking a legalized drug, you are going to be issued a fine.
Garrett, same question. Organized crime rates are continuing to drop since 2022, but drug activity and drug-related crimes continue to remain at an all-time high. What plans do you have to address the community's concerns on this topic?
Like I said before, our officers will be handing out Narcan at specific locations while they do their community enforcement. Death of our local neighbors community members, and politics are at an all-time high when it comes to fentanyl overdoses. I will also combat that we will not allow illegal drugs to be sold in this great city. Weed is allowed and will be sold at the local dispensary down the road. Nothing else, nothing more.
Thank you. Messer, same question. Organized crime rates are continuing to drop since 2022, but drug activity and drug-related crimes continue to remain at an all-time high. What plans do you have to address the community's concerns on this topic?
Garrett does have a good point. If I am elected into office, I would also make Narcan more accessible to our citizens, but I would also like to work on relations towards the LSPD GIU section of their CIB department. Their gain narcotics division is one of the best in the states and also one of the only in the state. So I would like to help, or apologies, I would like to work on our relations with them.
Thank you. Mr. Fox, how will you begin to prepare your employees for the variety of mental health crises they may encounter?
Repeat the question, please.
How would you begin to prepare your employees for a variety of mental health crises that they may encounter?
I'm going to make sure all of our employees are trained to deal with mental health citizens, as I don't need one of our officers randomly shooting a mental health citizen. We're going to make sure SAFR is called immediately, or they get taken straight to the Paleto hospital, or if that does not have a unit active, we're going to take them straight to Oceanside, as they have one of the best healthcare units in the state.
Oh.
Okay. How would you begin to prepare your employees for the variety of mental health crises they may encounter?
We will be adding a department that handles with... Wait, repeat the question?
How will you begin to prepare your employees for the variety of mental health crises they may encounter?
Yeah, I thought that. Okay. So we will have a mental health crisis
Garrett, speak
unit.
up.
Say again?
Speak up, Garrett.
We will be having...
Check your voice box.
Can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We will be having a mental crisis help unit, okay? This will be a new division, and officers will be specially trained by EMS, paramedics, and also psychologist programs that will come in and assist officers working with that. Mental health is a big issue and one of the biggest leading causes to death in this world. So this will be a big issue and will be discussed, and officers will be trained on.
Once again, Garrett, please remain by your seat. Once you move past me, it's hard for the cameraman to see you. Messer, how would you begin to prepare your employees for the variety of mental health crises they may encounter?
I look forward to working closer with SAFR and our medical bay in Paleto to work towards making the knowledge on mental health more aware to our officers and our people of Paleto.
Mr. Fox,
Copy, Simba.
many of others are concerned about individual rights or privacy, property, and individual freedoms. How do you plan to maintain the delicate balance between protecting individual rights and fulfilling the responsibilities of law enforcement and government?
Can't see from back there.
Well, that is a pretty easy one, as I know some officers do violate the amendments.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Fox. Audience, please be quiet while they're speaking. Mr. Fox, please continue.
As some officers do violate the amendment rights for all citizens, I'm going to make sure that does not happen. Everyone is followed by the book and is up with the book of codes. citizens should not be having their rights violated. And if they do, they can come right to me, and I will deal with it accordingly.
Garrett. Many voters are concerned about individual rights, privacy, property, and individual freedoms. How do you plan to maintain the delicate balance between protecting individual rights and fulfilling the responsibilities of law enforcement and government?
Respecting privacy is pretty easy. If you don't cause a problem with us, we won't cause a problem with you. And that's all that needs to be said.
Messer, many voters are concerned about individual rights, privacy, property, and individual freedoms. How do you plan to maintain the delicate balance between protecting individual rights and fulfilling the responsibility of law enforcement and government?
At this time, I believe there is my apologies. I believe there is no issues with this at this time.
Thank you. Candidates, I do have some questions that have been submitted to me before this debate that the audience would like to answer. Mr. Fox, given our limited budget, how would you prioritize resource allocation to maximize public safety and officer well-being?
We're gonna make sure all of our officers are well equipped and well prepared for any situation that happens in Paleto. As I know, a lot of times in Paleto we have a bunch of terrorists where sometimes we do have to call the DOJ, but I'm also gonna make sure our officers are well prepared and equipped with tools and accessories that can help them out, just in case the DOJ cannot get to us right away.
Garrett, same question. Given our limited budget, how would you prioritize resource allocation to maximize public safety and officer well-being?
I won't prioritize anything. I'll expand our funding budget by hosting community relations, fundraisers, and competitions within our city to win money for the police department.
Thank you. Messer, given our limited budget, how would you prioritize resource allocation to maximize public safety and officer well-being?
If I'm voted into office, there will not be a issue with budget. I look forward to working with local businesses and organizations, and just citizens in general, and working with them, hosting barbecues, hosting fundraiser events, so on and so forth.
Okay. Mr. Fox, how would you cooperate with Los Santos County agencies, namely LSPD and LSSD, in cross-jurisdiction calls?
I'm gonna cooperate them by, specifically if we have any chases going down into their jurisdiction, I'm gonna have a few officers, at least one of them, 10-1 to change to their RTO. We're gonna notify them. I'm gonna have at least 2 officers stick in the chase if it goes to their jurisdiction until LSPD or Los Santos County officers join the 1080. After that, I'm gonna have 1 unit stay with them until just handed and dealt with and sent to jail, and the other unit will be sent back to our jurisdiction.
Thank you for your response. Garrett, how would you cooperate with Los Santos County agencies, namely LSPD and LSSD, in cross-jurisdiction calls?
Well, I have great understandings with both department heads and leadership, as well as their high command. I will meet with them on the first week as I am elected and start setting ground rules and relations with them, depending on the circumstances of what happens out on the field. With the ties with them revolving around getting more support for Paleto Bay, it will also revolve around the 1080 issues that transpire. Officers will be allowed to enter their jurisdictions at a certain amount of distance from Paleto Bay, and will have the arrest once the pit maneuver is initiated and or the vehicle crashes out.
Messer, how would you cooperate with Los Santos County agencies, namely LSPD and LSSD, in cross-jurisdiction calls?
If I'm elected, I look forward to working on our relations. I will speak to their high command and chief teams on policies within our departments on 1080s or 1070s, anything that crosses jurisdiction where jurisdiction is in question.
Mr. Fox, how do you plan to deal with the speeding and traffic violations in Paleto that are abundant?
I'm going to be setting up traffic zones in Paleto, specifically the areas coming right off the highways. So right here near the town hall, and on the opposite side of Paleto near the PD. I'm going to have officers staged there as well to make sure we don't...
Oh, okay. Garrett, how do you plan to deal with the speeding and traffic violations in Paleto that are abundant?
Well, that's a big thing. Speeding and traffic violations kill a lot of people on the road as well as officers. Those will be heavily enforced and heavily criminalized in Paleto Bay.
Messer, how do you plan to deal with the speeding and traffic violations in Paleto that are abundant?
Thank you. Paleto Bay Police Department is the main department for our heat units. I look forward to working with our heat units. Look forward to delegating more resources towards them to help with traffic violations in the city.
Okay, thank you. All right, I would like to thank the candidates that joined today. This concludes.
When do I get to answer a question?
This concludes our 2024 Paleto Bay Police Chief debate. Voting will begin at 12:01 a.m. on the 9th of July. Okay, Thorson, so how did you think the debate went tonight?
Yeah, so I mean, it was obviously pretty close in my opinion. I feel like all three individuals really showed out, and they definitely knew their stuff here. I personally think it's extremely too close to call.
I'm a very big fan.
To me, it was just that good. What about you, Newellr?
Sorry, sir.
I do think it's going to come down to both the three candidates. It's going to be very, very razor thin lines of who's going to win this race. All gave really good answers on a variety of different topics, especially with different viewpoints. Everyone in the audience, that's really showed the division with that on when these candidates spoke on these topics, especially Messer and Garrett. When the accusations were against them, you saw another division within that room. The ones that supported Garrett did not. The ones that supported Messer and didn't. So this is it's going to be an interesting campaign trail over the next 2 days when the voting begins tonight.
Oh, I agree. Really, I think what's going to give some of the leading edge here is going to be just the relations that each of them have. Obviously, Paleto wants to work closely with other departments, and I think the relations they have is going to be one of the biggest helpers here.
Yes, we have one of the candidates here now. Garrett, would you like to come up here? All right, Garrett. So, how do you think the interview went for you? I mean, the debate went for you.
I think the debate went very well. My fellow candidates had their questions written down and answers ready. I myself, like a lot of officers, think on their head very quickly, and I think I answered the questions very well.
White over here. One wax.
How do you feel you did in this debate tonight?
I myself, I feel like I did okay. There was some slip-ups. There was some issues that people had different beliefs on, but those will be addressed if they need to be.
I got you. Well, hey, since we didn't really do a full-on closing statement, do you got anything you would like to say as a closing statement for the audience?
I would. There's a lot of things that I did say and a lot of things that people do not believe in. Some of those things can be changed over time, but I will say I do vow to have 10 new officers within the first 10 days of my employment. We will also have 5 new policies that engage within the community and also the officers that serve within the department. This will affect not only Paleto Bay, but the state of San Andreas as a whole, inspiring new civilians and new neighbors to come up to Paleto Bay and move in and add money into the pockets of their fellow neighbors and community members.
Stay behind me.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, hey,
Thank you, Garrett.
Yep. Thank you, Garrett, for
You're
your
welcome.
time.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck out there. If
Thank
you guys
you.
are going to vote Garrett, make sure you do it 12:01.
Yep.
12:01. All right. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Fox up here. He might have some stuff to say.
Hey, Mr. Fox.
How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. Hey, how do you feel you did during the debate tonight?
I feel I definitely did all right. I definitely got some strong candidates going against me.
So, we really didn't touch on the closing statements well in the debate. So, is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience?
Pretty much just if you come in Paleto, just be ready seeing active law enforcement. I know we do not have that many active members right now, but if elected, I will be holding our members accountable for activity and making sure people are getting their hours in on duty.
Okay. So how do you feel about the polls opening tonight at 12:01 a.m.? How do you feel going into this election? Do you feel like you're going to come out strong with a lot of support?
I feel nervous, but I definitely feel like I got a good shot.
Oh, good. That's always good to hear. All right. Well, we want to thank you for sticking around and answer some post-debate questions.
Alrighty, no problem.
All right. Let's see if Mess is available.
Mr. Fox,
Send it.
follow me.
Alright.
Messer, get over here. Where the hell is he going?
We're gonna have
Messer,
Emily
over here.
Winters come on the stream and
Everybody's frozen on my
yeah.
screen.
Thorson, go get him.
say her endorsement for who she's endorsing. Yes, Emily Winters is Ghost. 01 of BCSO.
Everybody's frozen on my
So
screen.
it's a pretty big endorsement.
Someone
so
grab him,
we
please.
shall see.
Bring him right over here. Thank you. Make sure
Yeah,
he's facing
he'll
the
be
camera.
okay over here.
Yeah, that'll work. All right,
Sorry
Messer.
for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, let's put him right there. He'll be fine.
Somewhere. He'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll move up a little bit for him. There you go. That's good. Okay, well, you just stay right there. Okay, Messer. So, how do you feel about the debate? How do you feel? How do you feel you did?
There were some slip-ups, but I believe I did good. I believe I have a good chance at this.
Okay. So, how do you feel about the accusations that were brought against you tonight? Do you think that's going to hurt you in the long run in this campaign, or do you feel confident going into the general election start tonight?
No, I feel very confident in this general election. There's no proof I am not corrupt, and I never will be corrupt.
Okay. All right. So, we didn't touch much on the closing statements towards the end. Do you have anything else left to say to the audience before we conclude this debate?
I do not. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the lovely opportunity.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Messer. All right. Well,
Thank you so much,
excited
Messer.
to see you out there on the campaign trail. You have a tough 2 days ahead of you. So hopefully we'll get some votes out there. I want to thank everybody that attended the Wheels of News debate. Our sponsors is Get That Rack Off That Bison and our Lord and Savior Legacy. So make sure y'all get out and vote. Polls open at 12:01 a.m. You will have 2 days to vote. Make sure you get your voice heard on who the next Chief of Paleto Bay will be. Thank you.
We got one more thing.
Oh.
Ghost has an endorsement.
All right,
that,
one
we're
more
gonna be
thing, everybody.
putting
So
out there.
the sheriff of BCSO actually just came up to me and says she has her endorsements ready. Ma'am, would you like to come up here and address that?
Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to come up here.
Yeah, so
of course.
So who are these endorsements going to be today?
So overall, I thought the debate went okay. Listening to the candidates was very interesting, very revealing. I think when it comes to Messer, I think obviously there was the mishap and a misallocation of resources, sending out a broadcast to the entire state about his candidacy. Certainly some gaffes there. I also, his experience is a little green to me. When it comes to Garrett, it's very troubling to me that a candidate is interested in giving any sort of police authority to a private HOA. I think that that's absolutely ridiculous. I also think that there's a misunderstanding about some of the drug enforcement laws in the state. I think that on a city level, on a local level, that is troublesome, as well as the wanting to bring in federal agencies and have a higher federal presence in a small township. Overall, I think Mr. Fox, with his experience and tenure in the Paleto Bay Police Department, was probably the most level-headed candidate. Pretty soon I'm going to write a formal statement along with a formal endorsement, but right now, as it stands, the Blaine County Sheriff's Office will be endorsing Mr. Fox for Paleto Bay Police Chief.
Lovely. All right, you hear that here on
right.
Weasel News that the sheriff of Blaine County has endorsed Malcom Fox for Paleto Bay Police Chief. Is there anything else you'd like to add tonight, ma'am?
No, that's it. You boys did a great job, and we'll see you guys out there.
Okay, all right. We'll see you out on the
Thank you.
campaign trail. All right,
And again,
guys. Like
thank
I
you
said,
so much, man, for being here.
like I said, guys, make sure y'all vote. Okay, we will see you out there on the campaign trail. Thank y'all.
You guys have a wonderful night.